All right. Hello, everyone. Carly Stein here, and I am here with Marilyn Pitchford, who is working on getting her. There's the light. There's the light. So thanks for tuning in today. If you're watching live, comment. If you're watching a replay, let us know you're watching the replay. #replay. And I'm bringing Marilyn on today because she is an expert when you're talking about energy and protecting your energy. She is one of my very good friends, first and foremost. And she's one of those. I'm hearing feedback on your end, Marilyn.
Oh, am I? Okay, hold
on. Yeah, and you're frozen. Hi, Joe Bill. So she's also one of those friends who will tell you the truth. Like she doesn't sugarcoat anything. And she always tells you that truth you need to hear, whether you like it or not. But yes, one of my good friends. So I wanted to bring her on today to talk about how to protect your energy during these crazy times. She will be joining us tomorrow night at the webinar 10 Keys to Awaken Your Goddess During Chaotic Times. And she'll also be joining us as a return speaker for this year's retreat, which we'll announce officially tomorrow night. So, Marilyn, tell everyone about you, what you've been up to these days, and we'll go from there. All right, I can't hear you, so speak. Can barely hear you, so speak louder.
Wow, I'm not sure what is going on with my technicalities today. And why? It says I have my volume all the way up.
Yeah, get closer to your phone and then you can hear when we're close. You're closer.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, it's just you were too far away.
Okay. This phone is fired. I didn't want you guys to be all up in my face. But whatever. So, let's see. Well, I'm a healer. I have I sound like Liam Neeson. Have a very specific set of gifts. And I use them to assist. So, so what I've really been kind of working on now is I've got some things coming out in regards to actually empaths and the types of empaths and the things that I think that I've used and that I know will assist. Here we goes with the darkness again. That I know. Let's try this.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, that's better.
That will be able to assist people in this, at any time, because what's happening is people's gifts are coming out.
Yeah.
And, I've always stated that everyone is psychic. It's just what you choose to focus on, what you choose to develop. I made a choice to develop a lot of stuff, but right now, people's spirits and souls and energies are being called forward. And I think a lot of folks just don't know what that means. They don't know how to protect themselves, and they're just kind of like trying to make it work, and it can be frustrating because it's not that it's difficult, it's that you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in regards to personal, like intimate relationships. And by intimate relationships, I don't only mean, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't only mean, sexual relationships, your boyfriend, your mate, your spouse, girlfriend, whatever. I mean anyone who is frequently a part of your energy field. So that can include children as well. And when you've got a bunch of different people on different wavelengths, different needs, different desires, and you are kind of, for lack of a better term, sparking up, you know,
Mhm.
it'll make you feel like your ass is going crazy. But, you
Right?
know, period. So I would like to focus in that area right now because I think that's where I can be the most useful.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, we're in a major, as I was talking about with Susan yesterday, we're in a major transformation period. Major. And it's not just Colorado. It's not just the US. It's the whole freaking globe.
Right.
And so there's energies coming at us from all places. You've got, first of all, like, the whole family dynamic has changed, and the routine. With, if you have younger, kids, and they're, not going to school, and you're battling between what to do with them in these times. You've got all the political stuff that's enormously chaotic, and confusing, and you're like going, why is what, like, why? I mean, that was me this morning.
Every morning.
I won't get into that, but I think I'm going to start a podcast called Points of View, just so I can.
And how interesting they are.
I know, right? And just so I can start saying things that I don't say. That kind of came up today as I was
saying exactly what you're saying. So.
Yeah. But what are some tools and tips that you have? Or actually, let me back up. Before we go there, why do people need to make protecting themselves energetically a priority right now?
I think because there is so much, honestly, there's a lot of depression. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of resentment. Just a lot of emotions and energies that are not necessarily congruent with growth, and actually moving forward. When you're in those energies, you really can't create. If you notice, when people are really pissed off, they don't have any ideas. They're just pissed off. And when you say, well, what do you want to do about it? Break some stuff. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. You might go to prison. How about we come up with something else?
Right. Go find one of those businesses that just allows you to go break stuff.
Exactly. Like, that person actually was pissed off, but as soon as they stopped being pissed off, that's when that idea showed up.
Right.
But
exactly.
But yeah, so people feel out of control of a lot of things in the 3D, in this actual world that we're living in. And what I know is that when that's happening, that's hard enough. But when you don't feel like you're in control of yourself, all that does is exacerbate the problem. So being able to control your energy really makes people feel empowered.
Awesome. Yes, it does. So what are some tips and tools that you have? And I know you're going to cover this in a little more depth tomorrow, even though that's not a big amount of time, but we want to be respectful of everyone's time. Yeah. Tomorrow, what are some tips you have just off the top of your head that people can use to protect themselves right now?
You know what? The number one most important thing is intention, because most people don't pay attention to their energy. We just go through life reacting to stuff. But
Got it.
Don't ever stop to say, when I woke up this morning, I was in a really good mood. what happened?
Yeah.
They just kind of keep flowing with it,
Yeah.
you know? And so that's not a place of sovereignty,
Okay.
you know, and it's not a place of ownership. That's if anything, it's a victim energy.
Yeah.
Because it's like a cat batting around yarn, you know, this just like, and because the law of attraction is paramount, the crappier you feel, the universe is going to make sure that you continue to feel crappy.
Aha. Well, and I think there's also so something that's kind of coming up for me is that victim energy is also an energetic addiction.
Yes.
So
because it makes people right. People love to be right.
Oh yeah.
People, I mean, I like to be right. You know, I had to reframe that because I still, you know, I had to change it from, I always said I like to be right. And my friends are like, well, you know, Marilyn always wants to be right. It's not that I want to be right. I want to have all the information and I want to feel good.
Right. Yeah.
Because I really don't have any feeling about, you know, the information necessarily. It's about the goal.
Uh-huh.
So you got all this, you know, this victim energy. See, you know, I told you that if I did this, it was gonna suck.
Right.
Yeah, you did. You said it was gonna suck. The universe said, all right, everybody, it's gonna suck. Because there's no emotion in the universe.
Right. Yeah, that like I just had the visual of like the movie Inside Out and where they have the emotions and they're like, all right.
That's exactly what it is.
This is what we're creating.
I was like, yep. That's what I see in my head. Thank you, Disney, or whoever did that. Yeah. That's it. Posse up, y'all. All of a sudden, you got, you know, file cabinets opening and slamming shut. You know, it's like, get that out so we can make her right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I was having, something kind of miraculous happened yesterday. Someone had seen I commented on someone's Facebook post in a group, I don't know, a month, maybe 6 weeks ago. It was a while ago. Oh. And she got up the inspiration to actually message me yesterday. And she said, I've been, you know, too afraid to say anything, but here, but I'm having the same issue she did. And I know you were offered her some energetic, you know, some solutions to her problems. Do you have anything for me? And like the woman who I commented on didn't even respond to me. And this one, like it took her a long time, but she finally got up the guts. And I tell you, I don't know if anyone saw my Facebook post yesterday. That's actually the conversation with her is what inspired that. And I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent. I know, because we were talking about how to distract yourself from the monkey anxiety brain. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, sometimes I'll just color or paint. So I'm like, my monkey brain is stopping this and I'm able to just focus on this coloring. And I don't know why it's coming up. Apparently someone needs to hear this right now. Maybe. But the point I was making is like, it switches you from the fear into the possibility. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, there's a ton of anxiety out there right now. And another thing that's coming up for me is a lot of that shit ain't even yours. Yes. So I think one way to protect yourself is to, going along with what Marilyn just said, is to recognize that a lot of the shit that's coming up in your brain or whatever isn't actually yours. So a good thing you can do is say, does this belong to me? And if you get this awareness that it doesn't, you say return to sender and like let go of it, get rid of it.
That that was one of my answers. You know, because that is a concept that was not taught to us. That's really not a part of our society.
Right.
The concept that you could be having a feeling that doesn't belong to you is not a thing in most people's reality.
Right.
But once you bring it to their attention, you can literally watch them think of all the times that they were like, I bet that was not even mine.
Yeah.
You know, and that is it. Because the first thing I would suggest that anybody suggest for someone to do to maintain their energy and their safety is grounding.
Yeah.
You know, I work with people all the time, and that is the hardest thing for people to do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's real easy to get caught up in your day. It's real easy to get, you know, we make that joke when it's like, you know, you wake up and then you hit the ground running. Well, if you're running, you can't ground.
Right.
And, you know, it's like, look, it's as simple as wake up, put your feet on the ground, and then ground, and then stand up.
Yeah.
And in these situations, intention is the majority of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So making the intention that you're going to ground.
Yeah, and or if you're like me and have to go to the bathroom the minute you wake up, you can do it while you're going to the bathroom. Right.
You can still move. You don't have to hold still. You're not locking yourself into a position. You are connecting with the earth. You know, like for me, I like that whole concept of the fire hose because I like the locking mechanism.
Okay. Uh-huh.
To me, that feels real sturdy.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, and the tube goes down to the center of earth, lock it in, boom, looks like a fire hose. Let all that flow down, and imagine all the energy from earth coming back up. Boom.
Yeah, because especially a lot of us empaths right now, I find a lot like while I'm sleeping, work is going on in other places, man. So there's been many times since March that I am waking up like going, what just happened?
And
what?
who am I? Where am I?
Like, get back in your body. Like my friend Angela always says, get back in your body, Schnaubelt. And then she goes, it doesn't work for you, Carly, because you only have one syllable in your last name. And I was like, get in your body, Stein. Yeah, it doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but it works.
I don't know. You know what? I think it's tone. I'm going to say, get in your body, Stein.
Right?
I don't see a need for syllables. I bet you need it. Oh, no, I got only a couple of syllables, but a lot of damn letters.
So and another way to kind of, or ways you can kind of tell if you're not grounded is if you're dropping things a lot, there's oftentimes that it's a sign that you are not grounded.
No, because I'll tell you, this is a little woo-woo, but I think a lot of people are keeping the secret that it's not that they dropped it. They're like, I know that I had that. How did it get out of my hand? My hand didn't open.
Right.
If it's not in your body, I mean, this is science. We already know this. We are not solid. We've actually never touched ourselves or anybody else.
Yeah.
It's not possible because none of our atoms, nothing's touching. So if we are not in our head and we are not grounded, now what happened was you were not able to maintain the connection with whatever that item was that you had.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this pretty clearly. There was a time when I was back when I was doing dating, mating, and relating with Carly Stein. I had an appointment with Marilyn to record a show. And this is when I was pretty new, so I was still uncomfortable with it in general. And we were having technical difficulties left and right, and we couldn't get on the thing, and it wasn't working. And she called me, and she was like, "All right, ground yourself." And I finally grounded myself, and it went through, but like nothing was working.
Because it is, it's like vibrating.
Yeah.
And you're like, and I mean, it happens to all of us. It's not like it doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
This being my line of work or not, I'm still human, having a human experience.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I was talking about that with Susan yesterday. Like, there's this, interesting, we're kind of in transition, this transformational period. It's like, I find myself going back and forth from 3D to 5D, going, am I human or not? Oh, wait, I'm having a human experience. And it's so interesting. Now, so one thing I found, and I think, and I'm not necessarily struggling with it as much, but there might be some people out there that are, is when you're like at home, you might be okay. But I found in March and late February that if I went to the grocery store as an empath, I could cry at the drop of a dime. And I was feeling everyone's energy. So what, if people are still dealing with that and haven't quite gotten used to it, or they just, or, it's still happening to them, what tools or tips do you have for them to, besides staying grounded, what else can they do to protect themselves while, out in the real world?
Well, actually, what I'm about to say is actually the first protective thing that they can do. And so, there's a number of ways. So if one you don't really like so much, go to another. I personally, subscribe to Violet Flame and all of that. So I use the tube of light to surround me. And I actually use it on my kids every day before they go to school too.
Okay.
But it can be as simple as before you leave the house, imagine yourself surrounded by a bubble. I personally don't suggest that bubble be clear. Because there's something about it being clear. Because I mean, it's not like if you don't make it clear, you're not going to be able to see. But I prefer the more kind of translucent type of visual.
Okay.
So I'm just in this whitish bubble. I like the visual of what it's like when you're in a plane and you're up there and you look down and you can see the clouds, but you can see where you're going. Right, you can see through the cloud.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah,
That's what I like my bubble to look like.
Okay.
Do that before you leave the house. Do that once you get in the car, and then amplify it before you get out of the car.
Nice.
And when I say amplify, that tends to, it can kind of freak people out. I'm like, they're like, how do I amplify it? I'm like, say, the bubble's amplified. It's all about intention.
Right.
Intention and habit.
Yeah.
So, if you say, okay, getting out of the car, if somebody's in the car with you, you might not want to say it out loud. But, I'm about to get out of the car. Please intensify the strength of this protective bubble.
Yeah.
And then get out of the car.
Yep.
And I also find it's helpful not to focus on other people, because if you're an actual practicing empath, you can still be pulled, and you don't know why you're looking at somebody. You don't know why you're tunnel vision.
Right.
Get to the damn fruit. Get the avocado. Get in the line and get your ass back in the car.
Hilarious.
If you're feeling particularly weak, haul it.
Yeah. Love it, love
And
it.
it's still yours to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Marilyn. Great information. So Marilyn's going to be on the call tomorrow night, or the webinar. You can register for it at the link on this feed, goddessawakenedevents.com. She's going to have even more tips and brilliance that comes out of her all the time tomorrow. And I'm also giving away 2 free gifts tomorrow night, but you have to be on the webinar to get them. So, so we will make sure you all register, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.
See you tomorrow.